This is Cody Stamann, and you're watching The Marcus Deegan Show.
The Marcus Deegan Show!
One try, two tries.
What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Deegan, shooting from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, the place of bright lights and world title fights. Welcome to another episode of the pod. Great to have you here once again. We got another UFC badass in the building. Although I reckon I could take him right now. I seriously think I could take him. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Welcome to the show, UFC athlete and all general badass, Cody Stamann. What's up, my guy?
What's up, man?
Holy
I don't think we need to be fighting, man. You got a bad ankle. I got a bad arm.
Yeah, that might like even it out though, because in reality, I would never be able to. I wouldn't have it. How long do you reckon it would take you to fucking put me down? Honestly.
A couple seconds.
Couple of seconds?
You got one leg, brother.
I'm a little taller than you, though.
Yeah, maybe.
It doesn't matter, though, right?
Everybody's a little taller than me.
You see, you got to have a good sense of humor in this business. What's the story, my guy? You look like fucking RoboCop right now.
Yeah, I got this fucking robo arm going on. So I tore my bicep like a month ago. Like I was telling you earlier. Literally, I signed a fight October 14th. Came here to train. Was here for 2 days. Tore my bicep, my first round of my first sparring session in camp.
Doing what? Throwing a punch or were you grappling?
Yeah, throwing a punch. A punch I've thrown a million times. It just landed funny. You know, I literally scheduled like a week off because I knew I was training too hard to, like I couldn't sustain that level of training. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go home. I'm going to kind of take a week, reset. I was going to go on a hunting trip and of course, that's when you get the phone call. And like, I knew my body needed a break, but I'm like, shit, I got 4 weeks to get ready for a fight. I got to go hard. And then like, it's 2 days in.
So what's that feel like? What's that feel like?
Dude, I feel like my arm's like a limp dick.
But when it actually happened though, what was the feeling? Was there a lot of pain involved?
It wasn't even that bad.
Really?
It was just a pop. Like I know the difference between like you know what I mean? Like you crack a joint and like a bad pop. I knew the pop was bad, but honestly, like the next day I was already like moving my arm again. I'm like, I think I'm gonna be all right. And like, let's just get an MRI just to be safe. And then I get the MRI results and they're like, your bicep's gone. How
much of it is torn? And it's because I've seen some injuries where the bicep actually
like
rolls.
Shoots up. So mine didn't do that.
Oh,
so
that sounds like it hurts.
So I thought I was good, but I had like 10% of my tendon still attached, 90% gone. And so I did like a couple strength tests like a week later. I already scheduled the surgery, but they're like, let's just see. You know what I mean? Maybe you have a little more strength. You might be one of the people that can get away with this. And like, dude, I couldn't lift a shoe off the ground. It was embarrassing.
So it makes you grateful to have two arms, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You don't realize how hard it is. Like I literally think about somebody that literally has one hand their whole life. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like everything is, you need two hands to do everything. To hold your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like trying to jerk off and hold your phone. It's like just the hardest thing.
Just got to prop it up on the mirror.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for you, that's like you're a really outdoorsy type of person, right? You're definitely an all-American boy when it comes to the outdoors. You and I have one thing that we. I mean, I love RVs. I know that you love RVs. Yeah. You actually you restored one recently, right?
I did.
How's that going? Have you stayed in it yet? Do you use it a lot?
Oh, I used it a ton, but then I moved, and at my old place I had room for it, and at my new place I didn't. And so I was looking around, like trying to find a place to store it because I really didn't want to get rid of it. And one of my old coaches was like, "Hey, I really want this thing," and he had the room for it. I sold it to him. Yeah. I gave him a good deal too. I shouldn't have because I'm regretting it now. I'm like, man, I should have made him pay.
Do you reckon you'll do another one?
Oh, man, I don't know. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I've heard it's a pain in the ass, but
I mean, my neighbors must have thought I was nuts because I was in there working on that thing and just screaming. Every other word, just fuck.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was a nightmare.
Did you build a lot of that yourself?
I did everything myself.
So you're a carpenter, fucking slash jack of all trades.
I mean, I wasn't supposed to be a fighter. I was supposed to, like, be part of like a family restoration business.
Really?
So I've been doing this kind of stuff my whole life. As good as I am at fighting, like I can restore anything. Really, I can.
That's a show right there.
Yeah.
That's a TV show right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UFC fighter fucking.
Yeah. I'll come to your house and I'll restore your living room and then I'll bash the fuck out of you afterwards.
I'll beat your ass.
So what about the hunting side of things? Let's talk about that because I noticed that you do a lot of, what do you hunt mainly?
Birds. I like hunting birds.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll hunt anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've shot all kinds of deer. Something about, I mean, I'm like a quarter Native American. So my dad was like huge into hunting. Like, but by the time I could walk, I feel like I had a gun in my hand and I was like going out hunting with him. So it's like something I've been doing my entire life. And I don't know, something about the outdoors. It's one thing to like go on a hike, but it's another thing to like go on a hike with a gun in your hand and you're like trying to stalk an animal. I don't know.
Is this a different feeling?
Yeah, it's a different feeling. It's a rush. It's a rush like fighting's a rush. You know what I mean? I like to live
On the
up
edge
here,
there,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So hunting is like, it's an adrenaline rush.
Is it a spiritual thing at all?
Absolutely.
Like when you're taking the life, and obviously everything that you kill, you eat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you're taking the life of something like that, it is. I've heard that it's very spiritual. Can you explain that a little bit? Because
I don't have.
Is it like are you grateful? Are you like
there's no glory in killing something for me. Like I don't. It's not like I get off on killing
Right,
something.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's not that kind of like adrenaline rush. Honestly, the first time I shot a deer, I was like 10 years old. I bawled my eyes out, and I was like, you know what I mean? I felt terrible. You know, but it's a part of life. I think everybody else is so separated from death, right? You eat a cheeseburger, you know, you never meet the cow. You know what I mean? But I think you have a different appreciation for your food when you actually go out and hunt it. You know, it's a different thing. Like you want to be less wasteful. You know, like people throwing away food, that absolutely, it drives me insane. And I'm like, man, something died. Like you can't throw that in the trash. Like,
Right.
you got to respect that animal.
Yeah,
and you respect it by using it and eating it.
Wow,
It's just
that's
the
a
way of life.
really interesting way of looking at it, actually. I really like that. It's disrespectful to throw something in the trash when it gave its life to feed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that makes me emotional.
Yeah. Are we going to cry?
No.
I'll cry. I'll cry right now.
I mean, when you say it like that, it just, do you ever, like in Australia, they hunt a lot of pigs. We have a lot of bush pigs out there. And they're very vicious, and they're
There's a lot of them in
fucking.
Vegas too.
See, I was gonna go there, but I steered away from it because I get destroyed.
Bush pigs out here.
I get destroyed online for talking about the bush pigs out here in Vegas. But yeah, we have pigs, and then of course kangaroos are something that we shoot. Over there, same as the deer over here, you know what I mean? They cull them, and they can be a little bit of a pest. I was talking to Themba Garimbo the other day, and we were comparing like which animals in my country will kill you quicker than the animals in his country. And I think the animals in Australia are just about as deadly as the ones in fucking Zimbabwe. Imagine going on a hunt over there. Imagine going like a fucking lion hunt or a...
See, I don't get the lion hunt. I don't really understand.
See, that's different, right?
I don't understand the like predator hunting. Like the only time I would want to kill a predator
As if it was trying to kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like same thing like as a fighter. You know what I mean? Like the only time I really want to fight another fighter is if it's life or death or I'm getting paid to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not just out here like trying to like fight other dudes for fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a different thing. I never understood predator hunting. I never really understood. I mean, like if a coyote attacks my dog, like of course I'm going to shoot it, but like there's no other situation where I'd feel like, yeah, I want to kill a mountain lion. I want to kill a lion.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I want to kill a lion is if that motherfucker's trying to kill me.
Yeah. I saw some footage online of that. Some dude was hiking and this fucking bear just came out of nowhere and he's throwing rocks at the bear and kicking it and the bear's rolling down and coming back.
Oh, yeah, he was on the side of that mountain.
Yeah, he was on the side of that mountain. Did you see that?
That's gangster shit, dude. That dude's straight fighting a bear.
But
for
what
his
else
life.
would you do though, right? You wouldn't
to.
just sit there. You just have to do it, right?
Well, I mean, if I go somewhere where I know there's predators, like I have a place in Utah,
Yeah.
mountain lions, like there was a mountain lion in my yard, and like I'm not going anywhere without my gun on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you
Like,
go
you got-
anywhere without your gun?
Not really, no. I mean, I don't have one on me right now. But
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just
That's
'cause
all right, buddy.
I
I
could've-
got you if anything happens.
Yeah,
I got
thank
two of these.
You keep me safe?
I got one of these. I got you. You carry your gun everywhere where you go?
Oh yeah.
Is that just because you grew up doing that? Or because you
I
just...
mean, I think I lived in like Metro Detroit.
Oh,
few
really?
years. I lived in Metro Detroit for a few years, and like, I just like have seen how fast shit can go sideways. You know what I mean? I got robbed at gunpoint twice, and I had a gun on me, and it happens so fast. You know what I mean?
That you
Like,
didn't even have time to take your gun out and defend
no,
yourself.
I mean, it was like a car. Like there one time was like a car thing, and like a car bumped me from behind. Like you hear stories about this kind of stuff happening, but it happened to me. Car bumped me from behind, and I was like, oh shit! Like he hit me. They get out, of course. You know, I stop, throw my truck in park, and like before I can even like take my seatbelt off, like there's a gun in my face, and I was like, he's like, give me your wallet, and I was like, all right, bro, there's nothing in it. Here you go. And like I handed him my wallet, and it was over, and it was like it happened so fast.
And they
and
just
I'm like
left?
sitting here.
He didn't hit you or anything?
Yeah, no, gone. And then like while this is happening, I'm like sitting here and like my wallet and my gun were sitting right next to each other. But it was too late. There's already a gun in my face. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you gonna take my wallet? Like,
yeah,
it's literally empty. Like,
so you had to kind of think then,
care.
what do I fucking do I go and grab, maybe do I go for my gun and risk being shot in the head, or I just let him fucking have the wallet that's got nothing in it but my...
Take my wallet. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't even think I had my ID in it. I was like, here you go, dude.
Fucking Detroit's bad right now, bro.
It's scary. It's scary. Like, I mean, this place in Detroit, the cops won't go, dude. Like, Detroit, I mean, like the populated places like downtown Detroit where the businesses and stuff are, pretty safe, well patrolled by police, like no riffraffs getting in there. But then you take a wrong turn, or you go somewhere where you shouldn't be at night, like it's like night and day. I mean, there's places where there's like $1 million house, and then across the street there's like homeless people fighting each other. You know what I mean? Like Detroit is crazy. It's like a third world country right next to a first world country.
Sounds
like
there's a
kind of like Brazil.
There's a lot of places like that happening here in America
Yeah.
right now, and it's
America's like
it's a scary place right now, right? Even to the extent of being an Aussie and growing up in Australia my whole life, we don't have the gun culture. There's no gun culture there. You can't carry a gun unless you're a police officer. You can't own weapons. There's no such thing as AK-47s or anything like that in Australia.
Right.
None of that. You can't get it unless you're obviously a criminal. But I'm actually now, because I'm so Americanized, I've been here 22 years now, I'm going to get my first firearm. I'm going to get my first lessons on how to shoot, because I believe it's getting to a stage now where, I mean, if you don't think that what's just happened overseas in Israel can't happen over here, you're very, very mistaken. And especially in this day and age with what's going on in the world right now, it's literally terrifying.
I mean, I really think the only reason it hasn't happened here yet is because of motherfuckers like me, rednecks, with guns and ammunition like stored up. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, you go to a place like that, like the civilian population, no guns. So you're just marching down the streets, shooting, killing, doing whatever. You come to America and you try to do that same shit, everybody has a gun. You know what I mean? Every third person, every third house you kick down the door, like you're being met with like a deadly force.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing. And that's the, you know, like in World War II, they talked about it, like behind every blade of grass is like American with a gun, you know, and that's like a different thing. And I really think that's the reason we're not having wars on our soils, because there's so many gun-toting Americans. Like, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like where I grew up, the people have been preparing for that shit their whole life. You know what I mean? Like their grandpas went to war. They all know how to shoot guns. You know, it's a different culture. Like you're talking about like a culture of hunters and like people that know how to carry guns, that are skilled with weapons. Like it's a different thing. Like you don't get that anywhere else other than America.
So I suppose when you hear the government talking about infringing on the Second Amendment, like what you can have, what you can't have, what people are allowed to have, I suppose that really, are you one of those people that are like, oh really? Come and get them. Come and try and get my guns.
I mean, I have a tattoo that says Mo and Labe, means like come and take them. And that's like a Greek saying from, you know, King Leonidas in the 300. And that's what he was saying. They were like the Persians were telling him to lay down their weapons. And he was like, come and get them. And like, so, I mean, that's kind of like my philosophy in life. Like, you were going to take something from me, like, come get it.
You don't have anger? Do you have anger about that? Are you angry about that situation? Or are you just like...
No, I mean, I just... there's how many guns? There's 1 billion guns in America. And the gun crime in America isn't worse than it is in any other country. You know what I mean? The only difference between America and most other places is good guys have guns too. You know what I mean? But what happens when you take the guns away from all the good guys, and now only the bad guys have guns? Because right now in America, there are so many unregistered weapons. There's so many, like, they could only take the guns from the good guys, people that got guns in a legitimate way. You know, people like me who, like, go to the store and buy a gun. But, you know, some gangster that goes and buys a gun, you know, in some back alley somewhere, like, they can't take his gun because they don't even know he has it, you know? So, like, at this point, if they try to come and take everyone's guns, they can only take them from the good guys. You know what I mean? And what happens, like, in every other country and every other society where you take all the guns away from the good guys. Like the bad guys run rampant. You know what I mean? Now we can't defend ourselves. And not only that, but like a war on American soil, like you're going to take all of our weapons away and then people are going to come attack us. Like what the hell are we going to do? Throw sticks at them?
So why are they trying to do it then? Do you have an opinion on it? Like, these conversations can go south, and I always get destroyed on these kind of conversations because I'm not officially American yet. I haven't officially got my citizenship, so I'm like, people are like,
you live here 23 years. Dude. Yeah, you're American.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I see it. So why are they trying to do that to, like the good guys, like you said? Why are they trying to take their guns?
I mean, I just think it comes to control. You can't control a population that has weapons that can harm you. You know what I mean? I look at like the state of the world and it scares the shit out of me. You know what I mean? And like everybody thinks that like people that carry guns and have guns are like scared of something. It's like, no, I mean, I have guns so I don't have to be scared. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like not like I'm not scared. And I never I pray to God that I never ever have to use a weapon on anything but an animal when I'm hunting. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like, oh, I can't wait to. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of situation. It's a situation where I'm like, yeah, I have these guns, and like, I hope that I only have to like practice with them, and you know what I mean, like go hunting with them. Like that's an ideal life for me. I don't ever want to have to defend my life with a gun. Yeah, you know what I mean. But if you put me in that situation, like,
so it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it situation.
Exactly.
What's your gun of choice? Like, what's your go-to?
I mean,
you've probably got several guns, right? One by the bed, one in the kitchen counter, one in the car.
I've got a couple. You know, I like shit. There's not really a gun I don't like shooting. Yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna put a gun in my hand in a survival situation, AR-15.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decked out AR-15. That I may or may not have a few of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, so no hunting for a while. What's the recovery time on this? And when are you? I hate saying. So when are you thinking about getting back in there? Because obviously, is that even a thought right now? It's not just healing.
I mean, yeah. My first priority is healing, but like, as an athlete, when you injure yourself, like all you can think about is getting back. You know what I mean? You're like literally counting the days until you're healthy again. You know, so like I think beginning of next year, I'll be training again. You know, I think I'll middle of next year I'll be able to fight. You know, but yeah, I mean, right now it's still beginning. You know, I'm like a month into this, so I hope the worst is behind me. I hope I can start to do more and actually start like training without using my left arm.
Yeah.
But.
So that stays on 24/7, doesn't come off?
Yeah.
You can't take it off at all?
No, I like take it off the shower and shit. I mean, I can take it off, but like I said, my arm is like, they're trying to like pretty much immobilize my arm for the first month. Yeah. And then I can start like rebuilding it.
So, I mean, look, being a UFC athlete, injuries are a part of the game. Oh, yeah. Do you have anything other than, what you make from fighting to, supplement your income? Do you do something else on the side? Do you have like an OnlyFans account, or do you sell feet pictures or anything like that? What do you do on to make money?
Feet pictures and
feet pictures.
No, I mean, I have actually, I have a couple Airbnbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not like one of those guys that gives a shit about flashy stuff. Like I said, I'm a redneck from the country. Like I don't need much. You know? So I've taken all the money I've made as an athlete and I've invested it in real estate, So right now I have 2 properties and, those do pretty well. You know what I mean? So I'm not like, I'm not gonna starve. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the deal. Cause I mean, I've hurt myself, I've tore both my ACLs. I broke my hand 3 times, tore my shoulder up. Like I've had some horrendous injuries that I've had to recover from. And like in those times, you're forced to like figure shit out. Yeah. Like get your shit together.
Makes you more of a man, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, it definitely makes you a lot like mentally tougher. I just think there's a reason why you see guys come back from an ACL injury. Like last time I tore my ACL, dude, I went 10 straight. I went 7-8 years without ever being touched. You know what I mean? Like nobody touched me for a long time. A lot of it I think was like the mentality. It changed me mentally. In those 9 months, I wasn't really training that much, but I leveled up as an athlete, like big time. And I'm thinking, like everything happens for a reason. Like this, you know what I mean? Maybe I needed this to push me to that next level, you know, because I don't know, man. It be like not being able to do something, like you take everything for granted, right? You know, like when I'm at the gym every day, you know, twice a day, training, it seems mundane. You know, you get to a point where it's just like, damn, I got to go to another workout and another workout and another workout, and you stop like appreciating it. You stop like realizing that you're living your childhood dream. You know what I mean? And then you get hurt and everything gets taken away from you, and you can't go to the gym, you can't go hunting, you can't do all the shit that, you know, life has afforded you to do. And then you take a few steps back and you start looking back at everything, and you're like, damn, man, I was really taking everything for granted. I was looking at this like it was a burden. You know what I mean? Being where I am in the UFC and having the career that I've had, and like really, it's a fucking privilege, you know. And that's kind of what injuries have always done for me, is like rewire the way I'm thinking about stuff.
Yeah, so like God's like, you know what? You need to get a bit more grateful again. I'm gonna tear that bicep so you can sit and think about it for a while, and then you can get back in.
Look at Connor. Look at Connor. You know, he goes on a little streak, tears his ACL. He's out for a long time, and then that, like, after he came back from that ACL injury, that was like the height of his career. You know what I mean? Like, he came back and was like a different. Yeah. He was like a different animal. I mean, he was winning. You know what I mean? Like when he got into the UFC, he was winning. He was an absolute stud. But he came back with like a tenacity that like no one in the UFC has ever seen. You know what I mean? He was just dogging everybody. Like no one came close.
So going back to Conor, like we're talking about those injuries, and you know, Chris Weidman. Did you see that? Did you see that last fight? Oh, bro, yeah, I was feeling the same thing every time he was getting.
That's
kicked.
My boy Brad. You know what I mean? Like I watched Brad get ready for that fight, and like Brad is just like leg kick, and I was like,
did he say he was going to do that? Was that his main game plan, to go in there and just kick the fuck out of those?
I mean, just watch him. He didn't have to say it. Like I saw him in training. Like he's setting up leg kicks the whole time. Yeah, and I mean that's what I would do to Chris Weidman too.
GS. No, it wasn't GSP. It was Anderson Silva. He had a vicious break. Did he ever come back fully from that?
I don't think so.
So the question,
but also like he was a little older. He was kind of
he was a little older.
His career. Anyways,
can Conor come back from a vicious injury like that?
Fuck, dude. Conor's got that crazy mentality. Like, I feel like Conor.
If anyone can do it, it's him, right?
Yeah, he could just talk himself into being like, I'm fucking better than I was. You know what I mean? Like he has that like kind of dog in him. But like also, you know, what the like I look at Conor like, bro, you reached the fucking mountaintop. You did it, brother. Like, I think, like, what the hell else does Conor have to prove to anybody? You know what I mean? Like, do
you think he's just trying to prove it to himself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Like, he's an athlete. He's a competitor. He's an elite competitor, and it's hard to like walk away. You know what I mean? Especially when he knows, like, he's watching fights right now. You know what I mean? Or during his recovery, like, man, I could fuck these dudes up. You know, and he's watching all these other people get notoriety, and I think it, you know, it probably gets to him. Like I know it gets to me, you know, so I know it's getting to him too. So, you know, I think probably the injury has just made him more hungry. And dude, if anybody can come back and make it happen, I believe it's him. You know, I just don't know what else he has to prove to anyone. You know what I mean? Like, man, dude, you won 2 belts. You made more money than anyone's ever made in this game. Bro, you're the fucking GOAT. Like, it doesn't matter like what anyone says. I mean, there's some amazing fighters out there that have done so much, but nobody did it like him. You know what I mean? Nobody did it like Conor. Like, if you know the UFC, you know MMA, you know Conor McGregor. You know what I mean?
I think obviously he made the UFC more mainstream worldwide, and
absolutely, yeah.
It's just a lot of fun when Conor's competing, and you know, we had this conversation a couple of years ago when you were on the podcast at my old studio. We talked about, you know, your admiration for Conor, and obviously everybody has an admiration for the guy. So, hey, look, I hope he comes back strong, and we'll see you on the podcast soon, Conor. We spoke to Audie the other day, and once again, he confirmed it. So when you're here, mate, this is where you'll be. So that's all well and good. So there's this new segment that I wanted to do. Are you a big technology guy?
Fuck no.
You're not?
I'm terrible, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty terrible as well. So, but do you know much about AI?
No, I mean, I know it's going to take over the world.
Yeah, right. No, definitely.
That for sure.
So,
if it hasn't already.
Back in the old days, guys, you know, you would have to research your guest. You would have to write down a million questions. You'd have to memorize it. Those days are gone. Those days have
Oh,
changed.
you plug me into some AI
So
shit?
I'm about to right now. We're about to do it right now. So let's do this. I need funny questions for UFC athlete Cody Stamann. Go. All right. And as you can see,
And
it's going
just
straight
pumping
away.
It,
Right.
It just
And-
pumps that out.
it's just pumping it out.
Oh my
No
God.
human being can do that. Okay.
No.
Right? So this is how quick it's done, guys. And now what we do is
That's terrifying,
we
dude.
read it. Isn't it fucking,
That's fucking
isn't it
terrifying.
scary?
That's
you can
terrifying.
you can literally go, hey, I need a letter to my new employer on how. Can you tell me the best way to write it so I can get a raise? And bang!
What is that? What is that? Is
It's
it like
called
an app
it's
or-
called Chat AI. It's free. Chat AI.
Is it an app or you just?
Yeah,
like-
yeah, it's just an app. You just download it. All right, so let's
Chat
see some of the
AI.
questions. Okay, here we go. So this is some of the questions for Cody from Chat AI. Let me see. Let's just start at the beginning. If you were to create a signature fighting move called the chicken wing, what would it look like? Well, I reckon.
It probably look a lot like this
Hey,
right here, dude.
is it watching as
Afterwards.
well?
Yeah, no shit, dude.
All right.
Probably.
Okay. If you could fight any celebrity in the octagon, who would it be and why?
The Rock. Because I really believe I beat his ass.
If you could have a walkout song that perfectly represents your fighting style, what song would it be?
Simple Man.
Simple Man. Okay, this is fucking bizarre. If you had to choose between fighting 100 duck-sized fighters or one horse-sized fighter, which one would you choose?
Probably 100 ducks. I mean, ducks are pretty small.
Okay.
It'd be like kicking around a bunch of midgets. Little tiny midgets.
Okay. Have you ever had a funny or embarrassing nickname growing up that you're willing to share with us?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. One.
That was my first fighting nickname.
Really?
Yeah. And it was
Is that when you were fighting in strip clubs?
Yeah, literally. That's literally a stripper called me Mr. Wonderful.
Really? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
before or after you banged her?
After.
If you could pick a superpower that would help you in the octagon, what would it be?
The ability to bend time.
Oh, the ability to bend time. Julian Arosa said he'd like to be able to slow everybody down except him.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you could, I literally like see the fight happening in slow motion. You beat the fuck out of everybody.
Okay, the
kills.
last question we got here is: can you share any funny backstage stories from your time in the UFC?
Ooh, funny backstage stories.
I mean, there's probably a million, right?
Oh man, the one in particular. So, you know Diego Sanchez.
Of course.
Diego Sanchez. We shared a locker room, one of my fights, and like I got to take a pee test, and like USADA and I go in there, drop my pants, and like I'm trying to take a piss, and I can hear someone over there like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I can't pee, right? And I'm like, hold up, bro, I gotta fucking figure this out. Still got my pants down, right? I open the door. Diego Sanchez is butt ass naked on the ground in the bathroom, fucking meditating. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the USADA guy's like, whoa, what the fuck? We got to get out of here. And I'm like, he's like, oh, I'll get your pee later, dude. I'm like,
Wow.
I was like, and then he was in there for like 45 minutes. And like, he's in there meditating and like, I got to take a shit. So like, he's in the stall next to me and I'm like shitting.
Diego's that type of guy though, right? That
Fucking
does all
wild.
that kind of bizarre stuff.
Oh, he's a fucking wild animal.
Yeah.
And
Great
then, like,
fighter.
And then he's like strutting around naked.
Wow.
And like, I'm trying to get ready for a fight. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going
Damn,
on?
that's funny. Well, I've got to say,
It's pretty good.
GP chat. Let me just because I want to give the app a plug. Hey, and this is not a paid sponsorship either. This normally costs you $500. Chat AI is the app. I suppose you can write essays, you can ask questions, you can. All right, let's just try one more thing here. Can you write a funny rhyme about the UFC? All right. And here we go. And as you can see,
Dude, how is it happening that fast? Come on, man. This is just gonna take over the world. Like,
in the octagon, okay, here we go. In the octagon, warriors clash. With punches and kicks, they make a splash. They grapple and wrestle, giving it their all, fighting for glory, to rise or fall. The crowd roars and chants, filled with thrill. The fighters showcase their iron and will. Submission holds and knockout strikes. Every fight brings intense delights. So let's cheer for the UFC fighters, brave and bold, in the UFC, where the stories unfold. From victories to blunders, it's quite a sight. A mix of chants, laughter, and chaos, and pure delight. Fuck me.
so now we don't need fucking poets anymore.
Nah, that's it. Let's get rid of poets. Let's get rid of school teachers.
Artists.
Let's get rid of artists. See, this is what happens. Then eventually, it's going to be the lights on the road are going to have AI, and when you pull up, it's going to take a photo thing of your face, and if there's anything that you have a warrant or you owe anything or your credits are down, this is in the future, bang, they'll press a button.
Shit, it's already happening in China.
It is, right?
In China.
It is?
Social credit system.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
The conversation we had about guns, bro, we'd be getting the door, be getting kicked in.
Yeah, right?
It's terrifying, man. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and
I'm going out on my shield, though. I'm not living in a world like that. Hell no.
But do you reckon that we'll see that in our lifetime, Cody? Like, are we going to be in an age of fucking... Because look what's happening. Are we seeing UFOs, or is the government doing a blue beam scam on all of us? What is it? Is it happening or what? What's going on?
Yeah, I think there's so much information, misinformation. I just think about, like, so I grew up, like, with no technology, and then technology became a thing. Like, my first cell phone, I was like 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then cell phones went from like the walkie-talkie shit with
the big ones.
Yeah,
like
it's like a
bricks.
big ass, like you couldn't even put it in your pocket.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And just put it in the front and make it look like you got a fucking hammer.
For those of us that need to wear phones in their pants to look like they've got a hammer.
Yeah, right. Shout out to whatever sponsor.
Shout out, yeah. That'll be a good segue into my sponsorship, actually. Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. They went from, and that was only in a span of really, 20 years?
Yeah, and then I think about it like, and then it was like let's talk about porn. Like it went from like magazines to a computer to like on your phone. And now it's like a virtual reality experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like technology and it's just exponentially growing. You know what I mean?
And
like, what's next?
removing human beings from their natural instinct to connect or be together. It's removing everything, right?
Yeah. And then in today's day and age, like as an athlete, like, you know, like you have to promote yourself, you have to do X, Y, and Z, and really like how they figure out how popular you are, how cool you are is like how many followers do you have on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You know what I mean?
And then that affects
that's
you.
like your measurement. That's like your measurement. It's like,
yeah,
man, the kind of people I hang out with don't fucking live on social media. You know what I mean? Like,
but in our kind of world, when I say our world, the entertainment and the sports world, you kind of have to. You know what I mean? It's part of
it.
You hate it?
Oh,
do you have someone do yours, or do you do all your own stuff?
I mean, I barely do it, but
yeah.
I mean, I just like, it's like, man, that's not like a measuring stick for me to like be like, hi, how successful am I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if the apps, like if you delete Instagram right now, there's a lot of girls that are no longer models. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that are no longer popular. You know, like I'm not trying to live my life online. I'm trying to like live my life.
Yeah.
You know, and like people are always on my ass like, dude, you need to film this stuff. You need to do this. And I'm like, a lot of times, like, I like being alone. Like, if I'm going to go fucking hunting or something or do something, that's like something I do for me. Like, I do that because I want to do it, not because I give a shit who the fuck thinks it's cool. You know what I mean? And like, man, it's just a weird thing. You know, like I didn't get into the UFC to like be a social media star. I got into the UFC because I like to fight and I want to fight the best motherfuckers on the planet.
You get recognized a lot when you're in public?
Yeah.
Every day that you go out, you get recognized?
Probably, especially here, dude. Everybody knows fighting.
How do you handle that? Like people wanted to take pictures of you and stuff all the time and talk to you.
I'm always
you love that?
Gracious. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's a good feeling. Does it feel good?
Yeah, it feels good. But, you know, and then it's also, you know, a lot of people are abrasive. You know what I mean?
They are? Even in the
run
street?
Up to you and act like fucking idiots.
Really?
Or, like, and ask you questions about personal shit. And you're just like,
really?
You know what I mean? There's definitely it's like a line. You know what I mean? Like it's cool, and some people are real cool and real gracious, and respectful, and then other people are like weird.
Interviewers as well. Do interviewers do that shit?
No, it's always like, man, interviews are always the same. It's always the same fucking basic generic
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Boring stuff, right?
Yeah, it's fucking
What
boring.
makes a good interview in your eyes? That like more of just a conversation instead of talking about the same shit, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a conversation, and I think you got to talk about something. You got to ask different questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, if you watch fucking 10 interviews, all the fucking questions are exactly the same. What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
Yep.
How you feeling for your fight? How you feeling about your opponent? You know, it's the
What
same.
about AI? They didn't ask any of the same questions, did they?
Fucking
AI's coming after my job.
Maybe these motherfuckers, need to start printing out some AI shit.
Next time you come in here,
Good questions to ask.
that's what it's gonna be. Just a fucking phone.
I know.
Oh my god.
But you fucking sit here and talk to the phone. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna ask some pretty damn good questions.
Well, AI.
Be a real fucking weird conversation though.
Wow, I know, right? It's fucking freaky, man. It's just bizarre, and like I've been seeing all. So this is another thing because I like paranormal stuff, and I like all that kind of stuff. In any of your hunting trips, have you ever come across or seen anything that you didn't quite know what it was, or you heard something, or you saw a footprint or a fucking smell and thought, that's a bit weird. That's
Dude,
anything like that?
So I was.
You know what I'm referring to, right?
I was in Nevada, and I was with I had my dog. We were duck hunting, and I was 50 miles away from anyone, and like I carry my shotgun that I'm gonna duck hunt with, and I also have like a sidearm, and like we're like this is like 3:00 in the morning, pitch fucking black, nothing around. Quiet, like no wind, no nothing, like super, super, super quiet. And I'm walking, and I'm carrying a bunch of shit. I'm making a bunch of noise.
Just you and your dog?
Just me and my dog.
And you're at nighttime?
My dog's running around, middle of the night pretty much. And like I could hear something like following me. Like I stopped and was like trying to figure out where the hell my dog went. And I had like a headlamp on, and I just like hear like running through the brush, right? And I'm like, the fuck? You know what I mean? And like there's like, it's a big animal, you know what I mean? And like, I'm thinking like mountain lion, like something stalking me, you know what I mean? But then it's like, a mountain lion doesn't make any noise, you know what I mean? Like it fucking sneaks up on shit. It's not making noise behind me, dude. And then, so I'm freaked out. I'm on edge, and I'm like trying to get my dog. And my dog is like standing like 10 feet in front of me, facing back at me, growling. And I'm like, and I'm like, I turn around and I can see shit moving. Like I can see like reeds moving, but they're so tall I can't like see over them. And like my dog is freaked out. Now he's like showing his teeth. He's sketched out. I'm sketched out. The gun's out. I'm like, what is going on? Like what the fuck is going on? And like then I like caught a glimpse of something, and I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck it was. And it happened. It literally went by so fast that it like wasn't an animal. I don't know what it was, but dude, I was a fucking ghost for like 3 hours. I was just like sitting there, like by the water, waiting for like the sun to come up, just like
wow.
fucking
You were really scared?
I was freaked the fuck out. And dude, I'm like, I'm not going out there like unarmed. You know what I mean? Like if it was like a some kind of predator or something, like we're gonna get in a fight, and I've got a gun. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't really be that scared. I've seen mountain lions in the woods before, and I'm like, all right, motherfucker, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like. But this was a different thing. Like I was freaked the fuck out. My dog was freaked out. You know what I mean? Like he didn't know what it was, and he was sketched out. You know what I mean?
Does he doesn't normally act like that?
Never.
So do you? Let me ask you another question. Then I'm going to circle back to what we're talking about right here because I want to know. When you're out on hunts, do you ever see animal bones?
Yeah.
A lot of animal bones.
Not a lot, no.
So mainly, what are the bones that you would see? Like
a skeleton from a dead animal or something. Like
right.
Not like you wouldn't see like a ton of them, but every now and again you like come across like an animal bone. Actually, no, my dog finds them all the time. Like a deer leg.
Yeah.
No, it's not like every time I go out. Nothing like that.
A lot of people say that if, say for instance, the cryptid called Sasquatch was alive, that there'd be bones around, but if you think about it, like Cody just said, you'll see a skeleton of like a fox or an animal leg, but you don't really see like a big bear skeleton just out in the open, do you?
No.
Do you ever see a lot like? So what? If you don't see bear skeletons, why the fuck would you see a Sasquatch skeleton?
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Do they bury their dead?
so have you ever seen that map of like the underground caves in America? And also they correlate that with the missing persons cases that are unsolved in America. And they are literally like, you lay those maps on top of each other. It's like my two hands fitting together. It's fucking freaky.
So, because I know a lot of people go missing in state parks and stuff like that around America. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And there's underground tunnels. I wonder what they're for. I wonder if they're like.
I mean, something. I mean, like hills have eyes type people or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I was in, it's like 4 hours north of here. It's a wildlife. I'm not going to say exactly where it is because I don't want anyone jocking my hunting spot. But I was up there and I was by myself and like the same spot. So like a day before, I ran into a conservation officer and he was kind of like, he was just checking my shit out. Like, hey, what you doing up here? And I'm like, hey, I'm hunting. And he's like, well, I need to see your license. I need to see your firearm. I need to see X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So I showed him everything. We're chopping it up. And he's like, you up here by yourself? And I was like, yeah, by myself. Just me and the dog. You know what I mean? We came up. He's like, people know where you're at? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I sent people my location. Like, if I go missing, somebody will come get me. And he's like, man, you really shouldn't be up here by yourself. And I'm just like, who the fuck are you to say that to me? You know what I mean? Like, you're up here by yourself. And like, he just like kind of got real quiet, gave me my shit back and left. And I'm like, why shouldn't I be up here by myself? And then that shit happened like the next morning. And I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck does he know about this place that I don't know? You know what I mean? Like,
and is this in Nevada?
This is in Nevada, like 4 hours north. I mean, I'm talking like there is nothing. Like you drive straight north. There's 2 hours where you don't see another car. You're just on a road. There's not power lines. There's nothing. You know what I mean? Like no cell service. I'm like 2 hours. You don't have cell service. Like going up there.
Sounds like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, dude. I literally thought I was about to be. I was so freaked. I've never been freaked out like that in the woods ever. I'm telling you, I sat in a chair with the water behind me, facing. And normally I would sit like or take a nap or something. You know what I mean? Like once I get all my shit set up, I'm like gonna take a nap, set an alarm, wake up, shoot ducks.
Tent or just in a sleeping bag?
I was sitting in like a fucking a chair. Like I'd sit in a chair and hunt out of a chair on the side of the water. Like in a blind, like I'd build like a little blind.
Nice.
And like I rough it. Like I'll be in a sleeping bag, my dog will fucking
jump in there with you.
In with me, or I just fucking put another sleeping bag out and he'll lay on it.
What
and
kind of
just
dog?
Chill, lab. Chocolate lab.
No.
He was fucking freaked out.
Him
freaking out was making me more.
Oh no,
out.
It does. Like when you see you bring your dog for protection, but when he's growling, it just freaks you out even more.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
not only that, but we walked another like half mile, and got to the water, the spot we were gonna hunt, and then like the whole time he's like fucking this, like walking right next to me, and he would never do that. He would be out fucking around, like doing his thing. He's walking right next to me, like freaked out, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
You know what you should get, bro? Here's what you should fucking get, so you get one of those drones that picks up body heat. So when
like a thermal drone,
a thermal drone. So you fly it up in the air, and then you look on your phone, and you imagine that you hear something, you look on your phone, and you see,
you see something
7-foot thing behind a fucking tree like that. What are you gonna do?
Shoot!
Far out. Is that the most scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Have you ever had anything else like that happen? Like
no, I mean, I was actually hiking in Utah. I have a place up there. It's one of my Airbnbs, and it was just me. My dog wasn't with me, and like I heard something behind me, like a rock fall, and I turned around, and like maybe 30 feet away is a mountain lion. And I was like, that, but it was light out. I could see the lion. It saw me. I pulled my gun and I was just like, what's about to happen? You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to get in a shootout with a lion.
Did you see, like, was he staring you down?
He was like crouched up, like looking at me. And like, I looked back at it and I didn't move. I was just waiting for something to happen. You know what I mean? Like, this thing's going to charge me and I'm going to dump a clip on him. Like, he's not going to make, like, it's not going to make it here. There's no way. I'm definitely going to hit this thing 3-4 times before it gets here. I'm good enough with a gun to know that. And I was on pins and needles, you know what I mean? Like tightened up, but I wasn't scared like I was that morning, dude. That was just something different, dude. Like it's just an eerie, weird feeling.
And I suppose it's the feeling
like
that you get
bug-eyed.
too, right? You get a sense over you, like your sixth sense kicks in and you get the goosebumps and the butterflies in the stomach, and something just doesn't feel right, right?
I was knotted up. I don't know why. The dog was knotted up. It was and we ended up having like a really, really good hunt. But the whole time I'm like hunting and I'm also like
looking over your shoulder.
Like what the fuck?
Fuck that. Fuck going by yourself, man.
Dude, honestly, I had an awesome time. But I haven't been up there since. I had a great hunt. I haven't been up there since.
You keep mentioning this, The Hills Have Eyes. Have you not seen that movie?
I did watch that movie.
Looks like it was in fucking Nevada too, didn't it?
It literally looks just like Nevada. Hey, dude, and the weird thing is like, there's just like creepy ass, like
little gas stations on the highway.
No, there's like this creepy ass like little town, like kind of by where I was hunting, like a few miles away, like on the way back, and like I was gonna stop and see if they had a gas station, and I just remember like I like pulled up and like people were like getting out of their house, and they're like looking around,
one eye looking that way, and one eye looking that way.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Like I pulled in, like, and I needed gas. Like I was 200 miles away from the next gas station. I was like, fuck that. I'm fucking out of here. Yeah. I'll risk it.
Yeah, they probably look like that fucking. Have you seen that UFC fighter from Dagestan with the
crazy eyes?
You seen him?
Yeah.
The pirate?
Yeah.
Scary looking dude.
Yeah.
Did you see that video of him beating the fuck out of that guy down the end of this? Did you see that video? He was going down the escalator in Dagestan, and there was a couple in front of him, and the guy kissed his girlfriend on the cheek, and he didn't like it. So they got down to the bottom of the escalator, and they got into a huge fight. The
guy kissed his girlfriend?
No, the guy kissed his own girlfriend.
What?
And
he fought him for it?
Oh, yeah. He said he was offended by it.
Oh.
Different rules over in their country, I suppose.
Maybe.
He looks like a vicious guy. So, hey, I mean.
He looks like a fucking scary guy. He looks like someone that I would see out in the fucking woods.
Circle back. The Hills Have Eyes.
I'm almost positive that he's not bulletproof, though. I think I'd be all right.
Do you think he'd be all right?
Yeah.
Do you think his look is fucking... like, that intimidates a lot of people? I saw him yesterday getting interviewed, and I was like, fuck, this guy is fucking scary looking.
He looks fucking scary. Yeah. I mean, like the dead eye thing.
Is it a
like
dead eye, or is it just a different colored eye?
I heard that, like, he, like, had his eye, like, ruptured, and, like, he has, like, a little bit of vision out of it, but, like, I don't know. They like, reattached. Like, he had a detached retina, and he had a bunch of surgeries on it. I think it was, like, actually, like, a training injury or something.
How do you get covered to fight with the injury, with that? How do you...
I mean, fuck.
Bisping did it for a minute,
Michael Bisping fucking was fighting in one eye. I think you really only need one eye. If you got one good eye, I think they'll like, fuck it, let's do it.
Hey, let's start the new fucking league. One arm dudes, one arm leg dude, one eye dude. If you got one nut, you can come and join as well.
It'd be like the fucking Paralympics of fighting.
Yeah. So let's just quickly go over what's going on this weekend in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, it changed up a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
A little.
Right? People getting cut and having to step out, and people getting staph infections and having to step out. So obviously, let's talk about Alexander Volkanovski and how much of a fucking goat that guy is, and fucking stepping up on 12 days notice. I loved what he said yesterday. He said, if it was the other way around, there's no fucking way Islam would have stepped up on 12 days notice. There's no way he would have fought. I'm doing it, so I have the advantage.
No, 100%. And Dana was like harping on like Islam being like, I'm the champion, I'll fight anybody. It's like, dude, you had a full camp. Yep. You know what I mean? You had a full camp preparing for Oliveira. Like you're in shape. You're in great shape. You're healthy. Why the hell wouldn't you fight? Nobody's gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna do it this time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's like they both prevent like different challenges. But dude, you already fought for this guy. You already fought him. Yep. Like you know what you're getting into. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You already got
like,
dropped.
Why the hell wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fact that Volkanovski did it, and I like posted a picture of like this dude fucking with his balls in a wheelbarrow, like pushing the wheelbarrow.
Oh, is that where I saw it?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, that's Alexander Volkanovski, because like it's all on him, you know what I mean? Like the first fight, I thought Volk won, obviously
3-2. I thought it was as well.
No, obviously, every single person I've talked to said the same thing. Like, yeah, we all thought he won.
So, but they always give it to the champ if it's not that much of a margin, right?
Yeah, you got to beat the champ. That is like a saying in fighting. But I look at this, man. Volkanovski is taking a huge risk because he's not going to get a third shot. You know what I mean? Unless this is like another absolute insanely close fight. You know what I mean? And you know, Islam like squeaks it out. I don't think Islam will fight him again. You know what I mean? I don't think Islam would even do it a third time.
I heard he was going to retire after this win, lose or draw. That's what
Islam?
I heard. I read that somewhere, but
I mean,
who knows?
that's how those guys do it. You know what I mean? They build their name up, they become champion, and it is smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go out on top.
I think Khabib started looking down the list and being like, there's a lot of these guys on this list that are pretty terrifying, and I think Islam's doing the same thing. He's looking down that list and going, damn.
And
you know
what
I mean?
about Hamzat and obviously Kamaru Usman? Hamzat's just got, it's just something about his personality and energy that is like just pure fucking dog. Doesn't really care. Just like he's very blank, no emotion.
He's got like that psychopath thing about him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like he's gonna just murder everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I look at Hamzat, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns almost got him out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smoked him with some big shots.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you know, Hamzat, he's pretty reckless in the cage. Can he be reckless against Kamaru Usman? I really think Hamzat, if he's smart, he just kind of like point fights Usman. You know what I mean? Takes him into deep waters. I think he beats him.
Does he have that? Does he have that fight IQ though?
I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. You know what I mean? Because Usman can 100% put your lights out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Usman could do it. And I think there's the only way Usman would take this fight is if he was already prepared. You know what I mean? He was already in decent shape.
Yeah.
You know, and like he knew that this, you know, this could happen. You know, there's definitely going to be, you know, I think, you know, Hamzat's bigger, but they both made 170. They're both probably cutting from the same place. It's probably pretty similar. You know, Hamzat might be a little bit bigger, but not enough to make a difference. And Usman can wrestle.
Yeah,
that boy can wrestle. So
honestly,
that's a better fight than Paulo Costa. Because I think he would have took Paulo Costa down in the first round and submitted him.
I had this conversation. How good are the matchmakers at the UFC for when they lose both the co-main and the main event, and then they just swap it around and make it better?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's
what
crazy.
about your?
How good is the UFC though that you can do that? You know
so
what I mean?
good, man. So good.
So many matchups that are just so sick because there's so many good fighters right now.
So what about your good friend Dylan Dennis last weekend? He was in the
good friend.
He was in the ring with Logan Paul. Did you watch that? I heard he made $1 million out of it. When you see these influencers getting up there and making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and you're fighting your whole fucking career, real killers, right, in the octagon, real fights, does that fucking piss you off and make you think, you know what?
Yeah, it does piss me off.
It does piss you off?
I think
it's got to, right?
It's got to piss you off. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like some freaking some dick,
some schmo coming in and
schmo, yeah. I like that. Some schmo
coming in and taking over the fucking shop.
Yeah. I mean, but I look at those fights, man. It's like a fucking gimmick fight. Like, you know, like who really gives it? Dude, I really like Dylan Dennis. I think probably could have done something in MMA, but the motherfucker's terrified of competition. Like he never really wanted to fight anyone good, and then he gets this opportunity to fight Logan Paul, and I think he literally did every goddamn thing he could to get out of this shit. You know what I mean? And then it does happen, and
he threw 17 punches, landed 6. That was it.
Is it really?
That was
it.
it.
That bad?
Did you say is that bad or
no? I said it was that bad.
Yeah. So I thought that his strategy was when I was watching it for the first 3 rounds. I'm thinking this guy is doing a Rocky Balboa. He's just going to wait until the guy punches himself out, and then he's just going to take him down and fucking. But. Yeah. Like, and then I think Logan Paul.
Then you learn out he's just a straight up bitch and he's not going to do anything.
What the fuck?
I'm here to get paid. That's it.
But what happened? He didn't care, did he, going into that? He didn't have a camp. He didn't have a trainer. He just thought. But obviously, Logan Paul's got no power, 0 power for a big juiced up 6'3" boy like that, and he couldn't.
He's big as fuck.
Huge.
He's huge, and he's just teeing off on Dylan Dennis. Can't put him out. I don't know. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't watch the highlights. I could give a flying fuck about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Logan Paul's cool.
Yeah.
Do I give a fuck to watch him fight? Hell no. I want to watch real motherfuckers get in there and fight.
So you're gonna watch
dudes that can hurt each other, not like
Yeah.
some dudes that just started boxing 2 years ago and are
Right.
like, you know what I mean, pretty athletic and like good at making cool YouTube videos.
Well, fucking speaking about one of the GOATs getting back in there to do it again, yesterday was announced Jake Paul, Nate Diaz 2.
Is that happen? Is that really happening? Because
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's happening.
I saw
It's
that
happening.
Jake Paul was going to fight Jorge Masvidal.
No, I believe it's Nate Diaz on the 15th of December.
Man, that fight sucked too.
Yeah, that fight did suck too, didn't it?
I mean, Nate Diaz did. I mean, pretty much what I expected him to do, and that was like jack shit.
Yeah. And then you had obviously KSI and Tommy Fury, who beat Jake Paul. I mean, that fight was whack as well. It was like dot, hold, punch, split, hold.
And like you figure like Tommy Fury carrying the Fury name would go out there and dust these motherfuckers.
Right.
But he's not his brother.
Well, then that's coming up. When's that coming up? Is that next week?
Yeah.
Or next...
Francis, have you seen that, dude? I think that commercial that they have is the coolest fucking fight.
I think I know the one that
I've
you're talking about.
Where like the ground's rumbling, like when you're hitting the bag. That is the coolest fucking fight promotion commercial I've ever seen, because that really is like, that's like the perfect fucking heavyweight.
Yeah. Can Francis knock out Tyson?
Francis can knock out any human being on the planet.
So what's going to be his advantage over Tyson Fury?
I think Francis' biggest advantage is that he's not a boxer. Boxers have a timing, they have a rhythm, you know what I mean? And Francis isn't a boxer, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that poses a challenge for Tyson. But Tyson Fury is the most skilled heavyweight boxer of all time. Of all time. Nobody has this boxing skill that he does. And there's things that he can do with his frame that don't make sense. Like how well he moves and how good he is in the pocket, like not taking those big shots. You know what I mean? If you land a big shot on Tyson Fury, like write it down, because you'll never land that punch again.
Yeah, and he's quite tall. He's like 6'9", right?
He's huge, dude. Yeah. He's fucking giant.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine.
I saw him at Caesars.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, wow.
Yeah. I got a buddy of mine that's 6'9.5", James. Oh, my mate James, and fuck, standing next to him, it's just it's a freaky thing to see. And so someone of his stature. How tall is Francis?
6'3".
6'3".
Francis is a big, scary dude.
Yeah,
like you see Francis, and you're just like,
I bet he's got a big Corey on him and all.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, no, someone was talking about it the other day, and someone was saying it fits the body.
Does it? I mean, I've been in the locker room with Francis. I've never actively tried to see his penis.
I mean, I would have definitely had a glance look. I've heard the rumors. Yeah, I've heard the rumors.
But now I'm curious.
Yeah. Francis, hit us up, brother. So, are you, is that?
Yeah, you got 5 minutes.
Oh, I thought,
5 minutes,
that's
and
fine.
Get
That's
the
fine.
fuck out of here.
No, that's all right. So, fuck, what else? 5 minutes now.
What can we talk about in 5 minutes?
What can we talk about in 5 minutes?
Our sex lives.
Our sex lives.
That'll take 30 seconds.
I am. Okay. Thank you. Guys, today's episode is proudly sponsored by Riz Farmer. Now, he said, how's your sex life? Let me just tell you what happens when you get to my age, 53. Things start to, well, they don't harden up like they used to. When it comes to male wellness, Riz Farmer are the juggernauts. They're the goats. Pop a pill. Treat your wife to the best night of her life. Riz Farmer, if you need to get in contact with them with anything, you like hair pills to make your hair go back, you want to lose weight, want to get your pee hard, Riz Farmer. Time to harden up, boys. Proudly sponsoring the Marcus Deegan Show. I've got to mention those guys.
Hell yeah.
You take dick pills?
No.
You've never taken one?
No.
Just to see what it does?
I mean, I am curious, but
you got to try it.
With USADA, I think they're like a banned substance.
No,
what? Dudes used to take Viagra because it was like a vasodilator, so it increases your circulation. Because Viagra was first made for heart pills,
right?
But then dudes with heart conditions started getting boners, and they're like, "We got something else here.
Right, yeah.
This is more important."
No, I mean, like for anyone that hasn't taken it, if you want to take your penis to the next level of
I do.
Then you need to take a dick pill. Just to put it this way, I got to be careful, because if I give it, when you get these dick pills, you may never not want to have sex without them ever again.
It's addicting.
Yeah, it just takes it to a level that you haven't seen before. Like, put it this way: whenever I see my dick on a dick pill, I fucking applaud it. I'm giving it the clap. Not like that. I'm like, yes, mate. Good boy, son. There you go. But so
hey, that's all me, baby.
Yeah, right. So yeah.
This is a great commercial for these guys.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sold, buddy.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be one of our new segments. Is I want to be able to. But that's interesting that you said USADA may have a problem with that.
Yeah, I've never taken them. I've never needed to. Thank God.
Yeah. Are you married?
No. I mean, but
you got a girlfriend though, right?
Yeah. and I've been a fucking wild animal my whole life.
You have?
But I mean, maybe I missed something.
Yeah, I mean, it just, once again, it's like, if I really want to punish my missus, I'm taking 100
That's how you're
milligrams.
gonna punish her?
Oh yeah, she can't handle it. She can't handle it. She can't. All right, but yeah, Riz Farmer, man, they're
We
great.
need a first person testimony from her.
Yeah,
So she's like, I can. She's out here. She's like, I can handle it.
I
That's
can,
fine.
no, I can FaceTime her right now. If you matter of fact, I could do it right now and ask her, and she'll tell you. Fuck, bro. So, what's your message, man? Do you have a message?
A message?
Yeah.
A message. Damn. A message. To who?
To fucking the world,
The
man.
world?
The world.
Get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Get offline. Fucking live your life the best you can and be present in the moment, because that's all life is. It's just constant moments.
Get your shit together. Couldn't have said it better myself. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're on Spotify. You can watch it now, YouTube, and all your other streaming apps where you listen to your podcast. This is Marcus Deegan for the Marcus Deegan Show. Thanks for coming on, Cody.
Of course.
We're out.
Of course. I think my balls, man.
Yeah. Your ball. I didn't see your